There's one great thing about gaming that we need to celebrate at all times, in my opinion. One thing I will say, with all the stuff that's going on, GOG has been a shining moment in gaming. There's no other way around it, and I will continue to support them as long as they continue to do what they're doing. Did you guys know that GOG has to go through hoops? They have to hire prior investigators to track down IP rights for games that they want to put on their platform. It is amazing what they have to do to get this done. And for that being said, I will continue to support them and do whatever I can to help them out because game preservation is a big deal. So let's talk about that, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. If this is your first time here, welcome. I talk about gaming and everything under umbrella. I also do live streams and other game content on here and a little bit of commentary. Also, if you want to support the channel, check out all the links down in the description. Like, share, subscribe, and I really appreciate you guys. All right, with that being said, let's look at this article from thegamer.com. I have the link down in the description for this as well. And I'm not going to go through every part of this article, but I'll talk a little bit about it. Approximately 70 years after video games became a medium, the act of preserving older games have become more important than ever. The CDPR-owned GOG.com specializes in game preservation, tinkering with older games to ensue that people could play these games without jumping through convoluted hoops to make them run on new hardware. But they realized the business is harder and it is more difficult than they thought. To be perfectly honest, it is harder than what we thought it would be, Pazinski said. We found out that games that and how they work has deteriorated way faster than we thought. And we are not talking about only the game not launching. We're talking about more subtle things like games not supporting modern controls, games are not supporting ultra widescreen or modern resolutions, or even a simple thing like being able to minimize the game. Like let me tell you, I bought games off GOG. I have a lot of games off GOG. And one thing I would say about the Mortal Kombat games, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and Trilogy, they don't support, modern resolutions. They don't support controllers in some cases. You have to go through hoops to get your controller to work. Like, for instance, I have this Xbox 360 controller up here, and it does not work with those games. You have to go through hoops to get it to work. And same thing with arcade sticks. And there's other games on there that's like that as well. So you have to find a way to make these games work. Now, that is another issue on top of what they have to do as well. There are a small number of obtaining of the intellectual property rights of an old game. They said they had to hire a private investigator to find someone living off the grid in the UK. The guy unknowingly inherited the rights to several games, but he was super supportive in preserving his family legacy. So that is absolutely awesome. You have some companies out nowadays that don't care about none of this stuff. And luckily, this guy was one of those people that's like, look, this is something that my family built. I want this to be a thing. Preserve them. I'm good with it. You have my blessings. Keep it moving. So that is absolutely cool. So, and the fact that GOG had to go out of their way to do this, how could you not support stuff like this? Like, we already know how CDPR, how they did with Cyberpunk. They lost a lot of good faith, or whatever the case may be. But as far as them owning this and having to go out of the way to make sure that we get games that we could play, it just feels good giving your hard-earned money to a company that wants to do stuff like this. This is absolutely phenomenal. So also, Pazinski says digital rights manager features the DRM of features are especially frustrating to circumvent, which means that they're working as designed. Heck, rather some famous games are unplayable without third-party patches because of DRM. Any old Xbox to PC that's saddled with games for Windows Live comes into mind. So there are games out there for games for Windows Live that just do not work on PC anymore. Dirt 2 is an example of that. At one point, Resident Evil 5 was like that. And one of the latest games, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, was one of those games as well. They took they took the game for Windows Live off of Res 5 and off of, what's the other game? Like I said, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So now you can play those games if you can buy, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but you know what I mean. You can play those games without that issue. Also, was Dirt 2, that game's lost to the game for, I think that had games for Windows Live. That game is lost to time. And I don't think they'll ever take that off of there. So that's a game that really sucks. You just have to buy it physical, or you just have to finagle your way through the PC realms to get it to work on your PC. So Pazitsky suggests that AAA developers remove the games after a few years, move DRM for games after a few years to make life easier for future preservation. Of course, this would never happen because executives don't care about preserving their games. They absolutely don't. I mean, let's be honest. They do not care about preserving their games. And it's pretty frustrating of that because what they want you to continue to buy the next game. They don't want you to sit here and be like me. I have all the games I want. I have maybe about 3 games that I want to play. And that's a set of Corsa Rally that's about to come out. I want that new game. The new WRC game that Nacon is coming out with, in GTA 6. Those are the 3 games I want. I'm not one of these people that, that want to buy a game and constantly pay these companies through whether buying a new game or just being on a subscription service. Even if it's free to play, I'm not with that. Like, for example, come here, son. Come here for a second. I want him to tell you himself, because this is something that I can tell you. Son, come here. Come over here. You don't worry about that. Come over here. You want to play games and have fun, correct?
Yes.
Say it in the microphone so people can hear you.
Yes.
You don't like playing games like Fortnite and all this other stuff where you always have to play and pay money to play that, do you? You just want to play your regular game and have fun, right?
Right. I do. I don't want to pay for no game. I could just pay for games on the
on your console.
On the console, on the PS5.
Yeah. So he's not one of those kids that the companies want kids like him to be constantly asking mommy and daddy for credit cards. We're not doing that. He's not built like that. Like right now, what game are you playing right now? Take your finger out your mouth.
Mario Strikers.
You're playing Mario Strikers?
Yes. For the GameCube one, not the Switch one.
Yeah, all right. So go ahead and finish playing your game.
Hey.
He's playing Mario Strikers. He's playing Mario Strikers on the GameCube, and he's having a blast. So he just gets the game and wants to play it. We don't want to. Well, I can say we. Well, I can say we. We're not into this stuff where we constantly giving these games or giving our money to these companies for games. It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing Game Pass. GOG is doing exactly what I'm used to. Buying a game, playing it, having fun, going about my business. You don't need any more money from me. You don't need any extra DLC stuff. Now, I do like good DLC, but you just don't have the aspect of always trying to buy a game and go through all the emotions of getting a game and having to pay after you purchase the game. I think that type of stuff is I ain't gonna say it's predatory because you still have a choice, but it is predatory at the same time. But with that being said, we're just out here enjoying ourselves and just trying to play these games. And shout out to the GOG for making this a thing. And they're going above and beyond to actually have these games on point and make sure we play them. And they're going to find people for games to be on the platform for us to purchase. What else more can you ask of that? I don't think there's any other company that do stuff like that. But with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. We're about to go and have some fun. We're about to go out for the day and do some things and just enjoy the weekend. Hopefully you guys do the same. I will be back later. I'll be going live, probably playing some more, well, more likely playing some more Fatal Frame 2. So come check that live stream out. It'll be late night because it's a horror game. And we'll just go from there. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Check out all the links down in the description. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm out. Peace.